Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to check out Polygon's price chart, and I think we should talk about what is happening in the mid to long term first. And I want to be very clear, I believe right around the current areas in Polygon is a fantastic buying opportunity, because in the long term I'm thinking this is a wave 1, this is a correction for wave 2, beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, very clear one into a wave 3, and this whole move down is a correction into wave 4, probably in form of an ABC zigzag, and I do think we are at the end of our C leg. And what's gonna happen next if this scenario is in play? You know what? A beautiful bull run into our wave 5, which in it I'm thinking in Polygon we can easily take the highest high in here for the first target, about, let's say, $3, but I think we can absolutely go quite a bit higher than that. And that's why, in my opinion, in Polygon, if you are an investor and you want to buy and hold for the long term, right in here is a great buying opportunity. Let's say you want to buy Polygon around the current areas, about 17 cents. What's going to be your stop loss? You can even put your stop loss under the lowest low down here, about 1.5 cents. And I do not believe that Polygon is going to go there. But let's say you want to be like extremely conservative. Okay, that's going to give you like a 15 cents stop loss. Now, what's going to be your target? Well, if you are holding for the mid to long term, and if you believe that we are going to have an alt season, well, okay, I think we can easily argue that Polygon is going to participate in that alt season, and we can go at least to about the previous major pivot high in the long term, about $3. And you're gonna have from the current point, let's say about like a $2.8 target. So what happened? At the moment, you are having a 15 cents stop loss, but about a $2.8 target. And what is going to be your risk to reward ratio? It's about, I believe, 1 to 19, which is amazing. So from an investor point of view, around the current areas in Polygon is 100% a buying opportunity. Now let's go on some lower time frames and see what is happening. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about Polygon, I believe we were right around these areas, and the idea was that we're gonna have probably another move on the downside. And let's actually go on our own chart. I think it was from Coinbase. There we go. If you remember, in the short term, we said, look, we can have in here a 1, 2, 3 correction for 4, and maybe this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 to about this point. And I think in the previous video specifically, we were right in here, and we argued that in Polygon we may see another move down into our wave 5, and as you can see, we did get our move. And I want to be very clear, I did not expect this move down to be this strong, but you know, here we are. And already we are seeing a move on the upside, and we got back to about these levels. Now, here's a very important point. In the short term, I think we may have some optimistic signs in here. If you want to say the bottom is going to be in around this area, let's say this is like a very important support. Okay, off of the lowest low, you need to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulse, wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave. And for our sub waves, we need to be able to find 5 up into wave 1, 3, and 5. There we go. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different possibilities. It's not really that important. Let's say maybe like an ABC into wave 4 and a WXY into wave 2. Now let's go on the live chart and see what's happening. And maybe it's best to go on 15-minute time frame. And I want to be very clear again, I do not go in my own time on such lower time frames, but this is just for the sake of educational purposes, so I'm thinking it's fine. Okay, what do we have in here? I think we can argue this is probably from this point a 1, 2, 3, 4 to about maybe like here a triangular structure, and then another move up into wave 5. Also, in this initial move up off of the lowest low, we can find another clear impulse, and between them this is probably an ABC zigzag. And I don't mind in case that we see another move up in Polygon, and that move might be in form of an impulse. This is also a WXY, a correction structure, and well, on a higher degree, what are we going to have at that point? You know what, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So This is, in my opinion, potentially an optimistic sign in Matic, indicating maybe the final low is already in. Can we say that with absolute certainty? No, there is no certainty in any market. We are only talking about the probabilities, but based on the structures that we are seeing in here, I think we can be a bit optimistic. Now, question, what happens after an impulse up? You know what, a correction structure on the downside in case that we are actually bullish. So essentially in the short term in Polygon, we want to see one more move up, but then some sort of a pullback. And it's very, very important that in this phase, we get a correction structure and not an impulse. And when we get this pullback, we are going to make new videos and see what the shape of it is going to look like. If we get a very strong move down, maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's going to be a bad sign, suggesting maybe our move down is not over yet. On the other hand, if we get a very slow and choppy move down, which in it we constantly have overlapping of the waves between our short-term pullbacks right in here, that's actually going to be a great time, because essentially at that point I'm going to be able to argue maybe we're going to be right around these areas, meaning on a higher degree this is a wave 1, correction for 2, and what's going to happen next, we are probably going to have at least another move up into wave 3, and maybe correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5, and this is hopefully going to be the beginning of the next bull run in Matic. But for now, it's a bit too soon to jump into that kind of bullish conclusions. Let's just get a move down and see what the shape of it is going to look like, and then we will see where we go from there. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Polygon's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.